All right, let's dive into a really powerful concept from Simon Sinek's book, Start With Why. It's this one idea that kind of cracks the code on why some leaders, some companies are just so inspiring and why so many others just fall flat. Ready? Let's get to it. Okay, so let me start with a question for you. What on earth do Apple, the Wright Brothers, and Martin Luther King Jr. have in common? I mean, think about it. A tech company, two guys in a bicycle shop who wanted to fly, and one of the most important civil rights leaders in history. They couldn't be more different, right? And yet, they all managed to completely change the world. Well, here's the secret. It wasn't about what they did. Nope. It was all about how they thought. Sinek discovered they were all using the exact same playbook. And it's a playbook that's, well, it's the total opposite of how most of us operate. They basically flipped the script on how we're all taught to communicate. Now, before we get into their secret sauce, we've got to look at how most people and businesses try to get our attention. Sinek calls it the manipulation game. And honestly, once you see it, you'll see it everywhere. It's the standard, flawed way of doing things. I mean, just think about it. Pretty much all the marketing we see, day in and day out, is built on these manipulations. It's all about the carrots and sticks, right? These are just little tricks to get us to buy something or do something right now without building any real lasting connection. And these things they're literally everywhere. You've got the obvious stuff like price drops and promotions, but then there's the more subtle stuff like fear, hurry, sell in soon, or peer pressure. Everyone's buying this. Even those ads that promise you'll be a new, better person if you just buy their product, yep, that's a manipulation too. It's all about poking at our hopes and our fears. And here's the absolute key. Do these tricks work? Yeah, of course they do. They'll get you a sale, they'll get you a click. But Sinek's point is that manipulations lead to transactions, not loyalty. You're not building trust. You're not building a real relationship. You're just getting someone to buy something once and that's it. Okay, so if manipulation is just a short-term game, what's the alternative? How do you build something that actually lasts? This is where we get to the core idea of the whole book. It's a simple but truly powerful framework Sinek calls the golden circle. So the golden circle is made up of 3 layers, kind of like a target. Right in the bullseye, you have your why. This is your purpose, your cause, your belief. It's the reason your organization even exists. Then the next ring out is your how. These are the specific actions you take, your values, the things that make you special and how you bring your why to life. And finally, on the very outside, you have your what. This is the easy part. It's the products you sell, the services you offer. And this is where everything flips. See, most companies, most people communicate from the outside in. They start by telling you what they do. Then maybe they'll tell you how they do it. But the truly inspiring leaders, they do the exact opposite. They communicate from the inside out. They start with why. Okay, and get this. This isn't just some fluffy marketing idea. The reason the golden circle is so powerful is because it's literally based on human biology. It perfectly matches how our brains actually work. Here's how it breaks down. The outside of our brain, the neocortex, that's our what brain. It's responsible for all the rational, analytical thought and language. But the middle part, the limbic brain, that's our why and how brain. It's responsible for all our feelings, like trust and loyalty. It's also where all our decision-making comes from. And here's the kicker. It has no capacity for language. It's that gut feeling. So when a company starts with what, they're talking to the analytical part of our brain. But when they start with why, they're talking directly to the part that makes decisions. It just feels right. All right, enough theory. Let's put this into practice and see how it plays out in the real world. Because the difference between talking about your what and leading with your why, it is absolutely night and day. So take a look. On one side, you have your standard computer company pitch. We make great computers. They're beautifully designed, simple to use. It's fine, right? It's just a list of features. But then you have Apple. They start completely differently. Everything we do, we believe in challenging the status quo. We just happen to make great computers. Want to buy one? See the difference? One is trying to sell you a computer. The other is inviting you to be part of a rebellion. Now let's flip the coin and look at a cautionary tale. Remember TiVo? This thing was a game changer. The technology was incredible. They were years ahead of everybody else. So why did it basically fail? Well, it's because their whole message was just a list of what's. They told everyone what their product did. It pauses live TV, it skips commercials, it rewinds TV. all amazing features for sure, but that's not a why. They never told us why they created it, what they believed in. They gave us a list of features, not a cause to join. And this headline from back in 2002 says it all, and man, it is brutal. More U.S. homes have outhouses than TiVos. Ouch. It just proves the point perfectly, doesn't it? People don't buy what you do, they buy why you do it. TiVo had an amazing what, but without a why, it just couldn't connect with people on a deeper level.
Okay, so let's shift gears completely. Let's look at the polar opposite of the TiVo story. It all starts with this number right here, 250,000. That's how many people showed up for the March on Washington back in August of 1963. Now think about this. There were no invitations sent out. There was no internet, no email blasts, no social media. So how in the world did 250,000 people all show up in the same place on the same day at the same time?
Simple. They didn't show up for Dr. King. They showed up for themselves. Dr. King didn't give a speech called I Have a Plan. He didn't list all the problems with America. He shared his dream. He shared his why. And he spoke to the people who believed what he believed. And those people took his cause and made it their own. It was their dream too.
So this brings us back around to the big question, right? What do we do with all this? How can we actually use this idea to change how we lead, how we work, even just how we think about our own goals? Well, Sinek gives a really important warning. The single biggest threat to any organization with a clear why is success. It's ironic, right? But as you grow, it's so easy to get distracted by the what's, the sales numbers, the products, the metrics. And slowly, that original why starts to get a little fuzzy. And that's when you stop being a movement and start being just another company.
And that really brings us to the final, most important point. The goal isn't just to sell to people who need what you have. The goal is to connect with people who believe what you believe, because that's where true loyalty comes from. So whether you're running a huge company, leading a small team, or even just thinking about your own career, the most important question you can ever ask yourself is, what is your why?